Preview time for race number 3 in this race, also on the turf, and it's a Class 4 over the 1200 metres. Golden Bulls had 2 starts for 2 seconds. Compassion Super wears a tongue tie for the first time. Better draw for All Greek to me. I Give went forward at his debut. He's had 2 trials since. Multi Super has the crossover noseband coming off. Further down, we've got first starters in Romantic Lau and also Strath Peffer. Speedy Fortune's been back to the trials since that 8th behind Amazing Rocky. Trust Me goes from the 1000 to the 1200, and Super Highway draws the 11. He's been consistent without threatening, however. I Give went forward on debut, Tom, and it looks like he might do it again.
Yeah, and there are alternate speed options in the race as well. In this race, Mark Multi Super is one of those. He jumped well, and there was certainly a chance for him to lead last time out, but he handed up. Compassion Super, he's normally up on the pace, but he could slot in there nicely from barrier number 1 in the trail. All Greek to me, another one that has raced handy in both of his runs. And Trust Me has also led up in the past. He's got barrier 14 though, so that's tough for him.
Yeah, he might just be caught wide. Super Highway will be trying to get some cover. No sort of speed early for Strath Peffer, what we've seen up here. And Golden Bull from a wide draw might have to go back, and as we said, I Give the Christmas Omen might be in the front.
One of the pace angles for the race was outside the leader. Multi Super is his name. He's trialled well, and his rider is Lyle Hewitson.
Lyle, Multi Super, good run on debut in the Class 4 restricted race. How did you rate that effort from him when he placed?
Yeah, I had high hopes going into the race. I thought that he had shown enough in his trials and his track work to run a bold race, and I think he probably should have picked up second, but he sort of got put under pressure early in the top of the straight by the nice Sword Superb capitalist, and that sort of had him floundering a little bit. So I think there's a little bit more merit to it, and mentally would have strengthened from that as well. He
jumped really well. Did he just run in the early and mid stages of the race with the choke out a little?
No, he was actually, he's naturally quick, but he doesn't feel it because of his big action. I was looking to possibly cross the lead horse initially, and I thought we were going to end up going too hard, so took it back. He's got a soft mouth, so his head came up once or twice, and then after that he dropped his head on his chest, and he actually raced beautifully, so he's quite tractable.
Okay, he, of course, the winner, hacked up in that race, but he wasn't too far away from sort of running second placing, so you were relatively happy with the way he finished off? Yeah,
I was. Like I said, I think he was just left a little bit floundering and out in the open for a long time with the horse pulling away from him, which made it difficult, and like I said, that experience would have only made him a bit better, so I'm expecting him to be an improved horse coming into the race.
What about his barrier trial on December 13? He looked to do that pretty easily?
Yeah, he did. Once again, jumped and travelled well, and extended his action smoothly through to the line. He's a nice type, and I think he's actually versatile. Possibly leading isn't his best option, but it's his gate spin that does help if we have to use that in our arsenal.
I noticed that Ricky Yu's taken the crossover noseband off. What do you think the theory is behind that?
They've just tried a little bit different equipment and put a different bit on him, so just something more comfortable that he can be slightly more tractable and happy with the bit in his mouth.
That Shining Fortune running second in that trial. Of course, he was a winner last weekend. Our first replay here, Paul, is Golden Bull. He's been beaten favourite at both of his starts, comes up with a wider draw and has to carry an extra £7 this week too.
He does. Look, he got beaten by Dragon's Luck, who came out and won really impressively again. So that's a good form race. And this race, United We Stand, it was Catch Me If You Can, and he tried to, and he just couldn't. The problem with me is the wide draw as well. Where is he going to be in the run? I just think he might be a bit further back, but I'm going to include him.
And whether the format of this race is as strong, United We Stand's a nice enough bread and butter sort of Class 4 horse, but I don't know that he's much more than that. He had to try and reel him in there, just couldn't mug him late.
All Greek to me, Tom, is another horse that has to carry more weight on his second last time at Happy Valley, but he did bump into a smart one. Gold Baby showing more than an engine lately.
Yeah, and he's been really rattling home down the outside. So How Deep Is Your Love has come out of this race, and 1 and 6th generation back and behind them as well. He again placed during the week. He went off very short first up, and punters got stung with him there, but he was better last start, Paul.
Yeah, 1.6 he was on debut over 1,000 metres. Back to 1,200 metres with that run under his belt. I think he's just about ready to win.
So he's the one to beat?
Yeah, I've got him on top actually, All Greek to me. I think there was definitely improvement from start 1 to start 2. It was all new to him at his first start. Golden Bull, get back, he'll be running on strongly. I'm going to stick with I Give. I made him the long shot on debut. It's a lot of money for him as well, because he trialled really well leading into his debut run. And he's a big price now. He's over 50 to 1, and Multi Super on the back of that good trial. 3, 1, 4 and 6.
Yeah, I'll go with Multi Super here. Liked his first up run, and he has trialled really well since. Lyle Hewittson's had a good association with this horse right from the get-go through the trials. Golden Bull at the top of the page. He's just got that big weight to carry this time round. All Greek to me. I'm going to throw a Nordic Combined here, who's at a double-figure price. I thought he ran well in his last two outings, beaten 2 and 2 3/4, and Richard Gibson trains him. 6-1, 3 and 13.
The favourite punters are in early on Golden Bull again. They've installed him at 2.3 in early markets.